I had planned to release the Incarnon Gorgon Wraith video today, but I ended up postponing it because I found a good combo that I want to try out tomorrow. I'm really sorry if I can't release it now because I'm short on time. After work, I only have a few hours to write a script and make a video. The Incarnon Synoid Gammacor is perfect for me right now as it's straightforward in what it does, hence I decided to make this one first. Why the Synoid Gammacor though? Well, the only advantage of the vanilla Gammacor is its higher riven disposition compared to the Synoid variant. If you happen to have only the normal one, then go try it now. However, if you have the standings to purchase the Synoid variant from Cephalon Suda or buy it from other players with Platinum, then I highly advise you to pick that option. Also, the Synoid variant has an extra feature called the entropy effect. This is an effect associated with the Cephalon Suda syndicate, which is activated by acquiring 1000 affinities with a syndicate weapon, with a weapon equipped with a weapon augment mode, with a 30-second cooldown period between activations. Upon activation, all enemies within 25 meters of the player receive 1000 magnetic damage and a guaranteed status effect. Additionally, the player recovers 25 of their base unmodded energy, and the base unmodded energy is also increased by 25 for 30 seconds. When it comes to evolution, the Synoid Gammacor turns into a weapon that fires a projectile that pulls enemies into a cold damage explosion. In our terms, this turns it into a gun, perfect for a group and nuke setup. The second evolution of this Incarnon will let you choose either Sage's Resolve, which increases damage and adds more multi-shot bonus to the gun when you have an active channeled ability, or you can also pick Infused Shots, which grants damage and more bonus damage once you spend energy stacking, up to 4 times. In my opinion, the Infused Shots perk is a more universal perk for the gun, unless you are playing a Warframe like Inaros that doesn't have skills. For its third evolution, you can choose Evolved Autoloader that reloads your magazine while the gun is holstered. Alternatively, you can go with Moonrise Velocity that grants range, but I think this range works only on the beam mechanic of the gun and not on the explosion in its Incarnon form. Lastly, the Extended Volley perk grants increased magazine capacity. For this evolution I pick Moonrise Velocity as the extra range for its beam will allow me to kill more enemies at once. Lastly, I pick Critical Parallel for the fourth and final evolution to increase the critical chance and critical damage of the gun. While it's only a personal preference, the bonuses coming from Survivor's Edge and Elemental Balance are not that important to me. Without status chance, mods buff from these perks, the Synoid Gammacor already has decent status chance, and all I need to do is add dual status chance mods to boost it. When it comes to the build, I'm conflicted with the mods I want to put on this weapon. It's because the galvanized status mod doesn't work with the nuke damage coming from its Incarnon form, but it's the best in slot for the beam of the normal form. Another thing that I don't like about it is the charges of the Incarnon form feel a bit short. When up against steel path levels, it feels like the charges get spent on killing only 4 or 5 enemies all bunched up together, instead of dealing insane damage in a crowd. The Incarnon form of the Synoid Gammacor deals with innate heat, which should pair with a viral build. However, it's not the damage you would expect, especially against heavily armored and shielded enemies. Also, the vortex of the sidearm is slow, but at first I was hoping to give it a gas build since this setup works perfectly with enemies that are grouped together. I was hoping that after stripping the defenses, I could pull enemies together and kill them with gas, while the gun is in its Incarnon form. Sadly, it doesn't work that way, and the damage from a viral heat build hits harder, especially if you remove the defenses of the enemies. On the other hand, the beam damage of the Synoid Gammacor received a decent buff from all those perks we added after installing the Incarnon Genesis. It's like the Incarnon Atomos, but the Atomos has a slight advantage in terms of damage. Now, if only we could add something like the Hunter Munitions mod to this gun to add slash, then the kill speed would be better whether we are using the Incarnon or normal form of the gun. Despite the downsides, I can say that the Incarnon Genesis of the Synoid Gammacor made the secondary weapon good in steel path levels, but that's it. If you go beyond that, well, you would need a special setup such as using primer guns like the Cedo, or even taking into account the heat inherit mechanic just to prove that you can kill level cap enemies with the Incarnon Synoid Gammacor. It is doable, but it would take a lot of effort and you would invest more resources compared to just using another gun for level cap levels. Just like the Incarnon Boar, it's a good upgrade for the weapon but not a meta-breaking sidearm. So that's all for now. I will be back tomorrow with more Incarnon guides, and I hope that you have learned something from these short guides for the new Incarnon weapon. Feel free to check out my Incarnon Warframe video right after this. Just go check out the link I have included in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.